Hello, everybody. If you are here to figure out how to edit your scene, I'm going to show how I am editing one scene. I'm going to be doing it on the Fictionary platform. I won't be using their tools, but I'll just show you how I'm going through and doing that. So I'm going to share my screen. This is about 1,100 words, this scene. It is a lead up to a plot point. So that's fine. It'll change length for sure as I edit it, but let's take a look at this here. Okay, so we're going to look at our opening here. First of all, I'd like to talk about what this blurb for this scene is. Um, there has been a riot, kind of an unintentional riot to some extent on a satellite. It threatens Elian, the protagonist. It threatens his story goal. It was going after Blanca's story goal, but there was a problem. It went too far, and now she's in trouble. So this scene, let's scroll down to the bottom to double check. Okay, so there's a little bit of flirting here that probably doesn't need to be there. Could be. I can probably get rid of the scene. Okay, so I said I wasn't going to use the tools, but I will go and look at my notes. So the summary was violent rugby match on the satellite. Blanca is accused of sedition by Petra for introducing a brutal game. My guess is that if I keep this scene, it's going to be about half the length or a third even. So, all right, I am going to take a look at some of there was questioning. That's passive. Furniture was righted. I'm not so worried about passive tense, Grammarly and things like that will flag was righted as being too passive. Fair enough, not such a big issue. The issue is that this is not from Elian's point of view. Okay, so I'm actually going to delete that and say Elian. Okay, the peacekeepers broke up the chaos. Elian pulled his sister over to the edge as everyone lined up for okay. He kept his eyes trained on the peacekeepers. Okay. They stood out. So I have the only thing that marked them out, whatever. They stood out with their stiff vests and long sticks. We really don't need most of that. The vests, Cillian noted, looked like they were made of leather. Okay, let's say this differently. Elian noted how much leather. How much leather peacekeepers or and they must have traded for it with the surface. Wondered if it was goat skin. Okay, that's probably not important. I might remove this. Okay, now that was a little bit of nitpickiness for the opening hook because we want to see how much trouble they're going to get into. Peculiar, isn't it? That our materials. Okay, let's give that to Blanca then. They're wearing goat skin. All right, we don't need it to be him wondering in his head. Blanca asked, said, leaning in and speaking quietly. We know she's talking to Elliot. That our materials should be making their police more powerful. How long until it gets used against us? See that on the end, Che told me that's to create an stable victims. Okay, fair enough. We'll leave that. Elian looked at the sticks. Okay. Okay. Getting rid of the protest. Elian looked at the sticks skeptically. Would be pretty easy. We don't easy to set off. Period. Just a slipped finger. And the surfacers thought. And the surfacers thought. The data being potentially systematically violent. Being violent with worried about violence with cause, territorial and violent. Let's go with territorial and violent. We don't need him to dismiss that. The waving check. Okay. Let's just say, well, I could have guessed that we'd would have guessed that. Okay, so we haven't gotten to, so this is probably the like plot point of the scene. I'm just scanning down to see where the climax likely is. He's wondering what it would be like not to have to worry so much. Look of kindness gone. Okay. Look of kindness is gone. That's going to be the scene middle. I'm going to highlight that, shall we? That's probably the scene middle. Okay. And is she under arrest? Okay. That is the point of the scene. Oh, which means it's probably the climax. We'll take her up to governance for questioning. That's the climax. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry I messed up Elian. Yes, that is right, because she did. Nodded toward one of them. Elian. Maybe Che will help me make it clear that I wasn't trying to be violent. Che had a red cheek, looked contented. I'll try to get them sense not before your treatment, not surgery. He's there for medical treatment. Okay, we're getting rid of that. Che reached the holy boiling point. That's a bit much. Okay, let's just have him say something else. Spacey stars. That was the most fun I've had outside the bedroom in a decade. Okay. All right, that's a good point. I'm not noticing things only Elian would notice. Okay, good point. He is interested in getting information about his medical condition to bring down to the surface. He's interested in philosophy and humanism. I don't think I need to worry about this anything at all. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna let him flirt. It's a good reminder to see things through Elian's point of view, but I'm not sure that there's okay. Elian blushed, nodding. Okay. Che is saying Che. Let's say Che murmured. Okay. Do I need all of that? Well, this is the romance bit, romance plot. There's a romance subplot between Elian and Petra. Petra's sort of playing the Darcy role, and Elian is playing the Lizzie Bennet role. What did Petra's opinion matter? Insufferable, uh, privileged exo. Okay, period. Uh, okay. All right. So what we've got here is some flirting at the end that does drag down the beats, but it's its own subplot. So I'm not going to take it out. I could make it its own scene. And now what I'm going to do is go through and do a revise. Happy editing, everybody.